Hey, welcome back. This is the third times, and third times are, in fact, the charm, as they say. Third times are, in fact, the bull's testicles, as they say. What a hot start. 30 seconds in, and I've already mentioned an animal's testicles. So, hello, welcome back. This is my third time trying to record this. I'm not really quite in the mood to record today because your boy has crippling anxiety. Yes, love that so much. I love when anxiety just fucking wakes you up in the morning and just goes, "Hey douche, wake up." And then just fucking question mark kicks you to the temple. And you're like, "Okay, so that's how I'm starting today. Am I a failure? Yes. Am I funny? No. Is this podcast even funny and worth it? No." Anxiety's just saying all this, beating me, just throwing hammer fists to me on the ground while I'm just like violently hungover, laying on my brother's couch eating orange slices. Just anxiety is just throwing hammer fists on my face, just going, "You're not funny. Your podcast sucks." I mean, an insane person, dude. Already off rip. I look like I'm fucking. I got this new fucking sweet jacket, dude. You're gonna have to check it out on the YouTubes if you're listening. But I got this sweet jacket. And I look like I'm going hunting. So I look like an insane person, just beating no one in air. And if someone was to clip that and send that to my employer, they would probably be like, "Hey, let's have a meeting because you do no longer work here because you're a fucking insane person." So, welcome back, episode 83. Yes, we're back. I'm feeling it now. This is the third time's the charm, and I'm feeling it. Let's go. Yeah, so I haven't been wanting to record recently. Little insider trading. No, little inside scoop into my brain. It feels like I got a lobotomy recently, and it kind of a good way. No, not in a good way at all. Anxiety's just been fucking just taking me 12 rounds, dude. I get fucking punched in the face and I get back up and I'm like, "Not today, anxiety." And then it's like, "Yeah, dude." It's like I'm going 12 rounds with Khabib, except Khabib is my anxiety. You know what I mean? And then he's just like beating the shit out of me. Have you seen the video of him beating up Connor? And he's just like, "We talk now. You talk to me now." Because obviously Connor talks way too much shit. And then Khabib was beating him up and he's like, "We talk now." My anxiety. "Talk to me about the podcast now. We talk now." I don't know why my anxiety's Russian. That would be kind of dope if your anxiety was like ethnicity. If your anxiety was like certain ethnicities, that'd be kind of dope. You know, mine would probably be Russian because it's like, I don't know, bipolar. It's like nice to you, but then it also like one day I'll wake up and it'll just be like, "Yeah, nice try, punk." And then yeah, dude, question mark kick or like from fucking Dagestan. Those motherfuckers just like wrestling bears, dude. My anxiety's like, "Right, you thought you could kill me, but I will never leave you. I am always around you. In fact, I never go away." Uh, yeah. So that's been my weekend. I got, probably drunker than I should have on Saturday. Let's just leave it at that, right? Did I get a talking to the next day? Yes. Do I question my drinking habits? Did I question my drinking habits this weekend? Yes. Should I not drink as much? Yes. Does it kick my ass the next day? Yes. Does it make me put off all of my responsibilities that I have to do the next day? Yes. Did I put off memorizing some jokes that I have to perform tomorrow? That I get to perform tomorrow? Not have to, because get to is a privilege. And I'm getting up on stage, and I get to bomb in front of 200 people tomorrow. Fuck yes, dude. Am I anxious about that? Absolutely. I am absolutely anxious about that tomorrow night. Tomorrow night, I will be saying 3 minutes of yuck yucks in front of 200 people. And dear God, I hope they laugh. But I'm going into it expecting them not to laugh because then it'll hurt less. And that way I don't cry on stage. I mean, a fucking grown man having a meltdown on stage, just sobbing on stage. Why aren't they laughing? Um, yeah. So I'm performing some yuck yucks tomorrow. It's nerve wracking, to be honest. I've been trying to memorize them the last like 2 days, and that is just me roaming around in my boxers in my apartment, talking to various miscellaneous objects, just being like, "Isn't that funny?" I mean, probably sounds schizophrenic. My neighbors, my African neighbors, not sure where they're from actually. Sometimes they have fried fish going on and it smells really good. Other times they have some other food that does not smell as good. But nonetheless, one of them snores and he sleeps literally on the other side of the wall from my bed, and I hear him every single fucking night. But nonetheless, we continue. I should go knock on their door. There's like fucking 8 dudes living next door in like a fucking 2-bed apartment. So I should go knock on their door and be like, hey guys, know you barely speak English, but check out these jokes. What's the deal with the Anne Frank video game? That's for real something I'm talking about tomorrow. But yeah, anyways, back to that. I don't know. I'm nervous. I was just thinking about it, not to get like fucking real. This is the real ass podcast. No, that's actually a for real podcast. So I take that back. This is not the real ass podcast. No, but I don't know. I just get fucking nervous because I was thinking about it yesterday, and it's like, dude, you're going up in front of 200 people and you're saying things to try and make someone laugh. And some people might be there to have a good time. Some people might be like willing to give a laugh, right? But if you go up there and like you're not funny, I mean, I don't know if any of you have seen someone like truly eat shit on stage, but dude, it is so awkward. And I can't imagine like what that's like on stage. I mean, like last time I went up, I'd say like I kind of bombed, you know. I didn't do the best for sure, but I don't think I did horrible. I mean, it wasn't great. Let's be real. If you watch the tape back, you're like, what are you talking about? You gave up fucking 15 earned runs in the first inning. Like, that's the equivalent. I'd be like, well, I mean, it wasn't that bad. They're like, dude, they hit 5 grand slams off you in the first inning. Like, all right. I mean, I made like one guy laugh a little bit. They're like, that was the host. He was forced to laugh, you know, because he's your friend. But my point is, I don't know what it is, dude. Ever since I was like speaking, ever since I spoke in front you know, you take classes like that when you're younger, on public speaking, and every time I'd speak in front of like literally only like 15 people, I'd fucking freeze up. My heart would start racing, dude. And I would start getting lightheaded, like the whole fucking thing, and I just black out when I'm up there. So I don't know. We'll see. It's 3.5 minutes. And I'm trying to make people laugh. So do I talk about the Holocaust? Yes. Is this the time to be talking about the Holocaust? Probably not, because we have Jewish tunnels. When could the Jews have used some tunnels? Probably during the Holocaust. So maybe it is the time to be talking about it. You know what I mean? My buddy was telling me about how his girlfriend's Jewish, and they were in the area she lives in. They live near some Hasidic Jews, and they were driving by, and she's like, oh my God, look at them. They're so cute. And she started filming them. My buddy was like, stop filming them. This is a hate crime. She's like, I'm Jewish. It's fine. And he was like, they don't fucking know that. It looks like we're just committing a fucking hate crime and filming them. But yeah, to keep it a buck with ya, thought about quitting the pod yesterday. I almost fucking pulled up Instagram, opened my story, and just went, hey guys, pod is canceled until further notice because I'm not funny. Yeah. So I know. You guys are the streets are talking. I hear them. They're like, I mean, this podcast is not funny. This guy's not funny. I mean, just like emitting such low confidence this episode, a new listener is going to be like, I'm not listening to this ever again. So I'm leaving in though. I keep it real. But yeah. So I'm real nervous. We'll see how it goes, dude. If I bomb, I bomb, right? Right? It's fine. Worst things could happen in life. I just fucking trip and fall, or I have a heart attack on stage. I mean, that would suck. Speaking of heart attacks, I went to the doctor last week. Remember how I was saying how I was like, I think I'm having a heart attack. I need to go see someone. So I saw someone, and it was kind of in a little sketchy office. You know when you go to the doctor and you're like going to visit like a new doctor for the first time, and they're like in an office somewhere, and you're like, this seems sketchy, but I think it's fine. Are you going to touch my balls now? That's always so awkward when you go to the doctor to get a physical and it's like a new doctor and they're like, all right, so put on this gown and I'm going to touch your jewels. My doctor fucking when I was growing up used to say, or when I was like in high school and shit, he would like refer to them as like nicknames. Now that I think about it, that is creepy as shit that he used to do that. He'd be like, all right, let me touch your family jewels. Oh, what the hell? Why did he say that? And then I would knowingly just fucking pull my pants down. Okay, tight. It is kind of strange that like multiple grown men have touched my balls, you know? Being a straight man, kind of strange. Am I bisexual? Well, I guess I didn't like it, you know? They're cold hands in fucking with gloves. Okay, now cough, and you're like, please let me go. Please don't get a boner. Please don't get a boner. Please don't get a boner. So stupid. So dumb. Wow. We're back, baby. We're fucking back on this podcast. Let's go. Yeah, but luckily my doctor did not touch my penis this time. Also, not to go back to like the point about the about getting groped by your doctor, but like it is a strange thing to like go into a doc, and obviously they're doctors. Obviously they're checking for like testicular cancer. I'm not a fucking dummy, okay? It's not like I just let random guys grope me, okay? Except you do. And that's strange to me. That you just like walk into a doctor's office and you're like, hey, how's it going? And they're like, all right, so take your pants off. And you're like, okay. And you just knowingly take them off. And you're like, does this hurt? Okay. Now cough for me. They stick a finger up your ass. You're like, oh, I didn't know we were doing colonoscopy. And they're like, we're not doing that today. But yeah, it is strange that your doctor's just like, patient confidentiality for real is for real. What did that even mean? Patient confidentiality is a thing, obviously, so they're not just going to be like, Instagram living. I wonder if we'll ever get to that point in our like in my lifetime, I guess. And I feel like the majority of listeners are around my age. I don't know if we'll ever get to that point. We might in our lifetime where doctors just start live streaming while you're getting your physical done. They're just posting on TikTok. They're like, all right, guys, so today I have a fucking troglodyte who never works out, and we're going to be groping his balls. Stay tuned. I think he has testicular cancer. But obviously you can't see their face because HIPAA, so it's just them. What if it was just a shot of their balls, and they're like, so this is a lump. Ew, dude. I mean, there's a solid chance that could become social media in a little bit. Is doctors just being like, showing off like people's body parts without showing their face. You know what I mean? Just Instagram living during fucking orthopedic surgery. Today, we're doing a BBL. Come check it out. Today, we have Maria, a 30-year-old who's super self-conscious and would love to get a big ol' ass. So, that's what I got called to do. She found a coupon online, so we're going to take a couple shortcuts. I found a bunch of cardboard laying in the back, so we're just going to use that instead of silicone. It's cheaper. And honestly, it's fucking free. So, but it's going to be them. It's not going to be them talking. It's going to be them pointing up like they always fucking do in those TikTok videos. You know what I mean? But yeah, I don't know. I went to the doctor and was just like, yeah, so I've been feeling some chest pain, and we like, figured out. I think we at least figured out what was going on. I don't know. I could still be dying. Who fucking knows? But he seemed like a smart guy. I gave him the benefit of the doubt way too quick. I'm like, let me try and find a diploma in this business. If I can find a diploma, that means he's a real doctor. I mean, could have just fucking printed it out. I'm going to start doing that places to like gain credibility. If I ever open up some sort of like shop, I'm just going to print out a master's degree, fake it, just print it out on like official letterhead. You know what I mean? With some random university and just put it up on a wall. That is definitely fucking illegal. So maybe I just incriminated myself for a future felony. But yeah, I just was like a dummy. I'm just like, well, I mean, this kind of seems sketchy, but let me just find some master's degree. All right, boom, found it. Cambridge Online. I mean, it counts. He got some sort of degree. And then luckily didn't have to take my pants off. He did not get groped over the last week. Things that didn't happen last week. Having a good mental health week didn't happen. Getting groped by a man didn't happen. Thank God. And also, what else didn't happen? I don't know. Fill in the blank. I'll let you do the work. That's what this podcast is going to turn into. I'll let you do the freaking work. You figure it out. Who knows what I mean? But yeah, so then he was like asking me about my, like workout habits and stuff. Like they always do. They're like, and about how many times a week do you work out? And you always inflate it, right? Inflation, gotta keep that in count. You're like, I run like a marathon a week. You know what I mean? And I maybe run like 10 miles a week, which is good. Don't get me wrong. It's all right. You know what I mean? Nothing to like write home about. Nothing to like write home to your parents and be like, dear mom, today I ran 5 miles. I set a pace for the fastest 10K in my neighborhood. I also got hit by a semi-truck. Which honestly, I fucking wish it hit me. That was the worst British accent ever. But yeah, so I went in there, spit out the freaking point, dude. This is why people don't listen to this thing. What if I just started hitting myself with the mic? Stupid, stupid, stupid. So I go in there, and the doctor's like, "Do you lift any weights?" And I was like, "No, honestly, like I've just been running. I've been a big runner lately. I've just been touching pavement recently." Me, the Bass Pro. Yeah, honestly, have you seen the video of the Bass Pro Shops guy? That's me. I've just been touching pavement. That's me, but except of my dung getting rubbed on the ground by a cop. It's my shoes hitting the pavement. The doctor's like, okay. Awesome. Yeah, so I told him I run a bit. He's like, do you lift weights? And I was like, no. And then he went like this. I mean, you can't really see my eyes, but he looked me up and down after I said that. He goes, do you lift weights? And I went, no, not really. I could do a better job at that for sure. And he just like eyed me up and down. I mean, made me feel so bad. And his reasoning was like, I mean, in your 20s, you can get away with a lot, but once you get older, your testosterone starts to tank. And, you know, it's just good to build like good. You just want to be able to like lift heavy stuff and just keep lifting heavy stuff so that your testosterone doesn't take as much of a dip. And I was like, honestly, dude, give me all the tea. Give me all of the tea. I would love to have like too high of testosterone. You know what I mean? Just be amped all the fucking time. Be punching stuff. Just walking into work, punching a wall in the morning, and just being like, yes, so excited to be here. Just so pumped. Deadlifting like 500 pounds, bending the bar, you know? I should have just been like, oh, you saying I have low T? Fucking give me all of the tea then, doctor. Give me all of the tea bags. Do I have to inject it? Is it a pill? I don't know anything about testosterone. But I guess you're saying I have low T. So, in that case, give me all of the tea. What kinds of tea is there? Green tea? Chamomile tea? What do we got? He just gives me fucking SARMs. He just gives me Winstrol. I'm like, let's go, dude. Dude, I honestly should probably take steroids. That would be a lot of fun. Just for no reason, not even lifting weights, just taking steroids for literally zero reason, just other than to be like, I'm on steroids. People are like, why? They're like, are you training for something? You're like, yeah, I want to be a stand-up. They're like, what do you need steroids for? That could be my act, dude. I could be the steroids comic. I could just be on stage just shooting up steroids and then just like do my act like fucking high on steroids. I mean, I don't really know how steroids work clearly, so I'm not a doctor. I never claimed to be a doctor. I feel like I should make a disclaimer that says I'm not a doctor. I don't claim to be a doctor. I don't give medical advice. All opinions on this podcast are satirical purposes, are for satirical purposes. So, I don't mean what I say I mean on this podcast. If that wasn't apparent enough. So, if you're a lawyer and you're watching this, first of all, turn it off. Second of all, don't sue me. If you're a lawyer representing someone, I'll pay you double. Come represent me in court. Shout out Morgan & Morgan. Oh no, they're different. Whatever, dude. So yeah, my doctor basically called me a fucking pussy this weekend, and it's kind of an ongoing trend of people calling me a pussy. Who else did? There was my doctor. There was the fucking guy at the brewery we went to a couple weeks ago when I talked about that. When he was like, okay, so you don't want a fucking pint, you want a tulip. And I was like, just give me a fucking pint, dude. Are you calling me a pussy? Because I think you are. But yeah, so there was that. Another thing I was thinking about randomly was like, this is so fucking random. I don't know why I was thinking about this, but today I was walking in my car and I just thought about like all the weird teachers I used to have. Like I was going through like every level of education I had, and I always had like one weird teacher, whatever level it was. Like in elementary school, I had this really, really like old hag of a teacher, dude. She sucked. She made us do Shakespeare in like 6th grade, and all of us were like, I don't even understand what the other gender is, dude. I don't even understand girls at this moment. And you're going to make You're gonna make two of us kiss, dude? What is happening? I remember I tried out for security guard number 2. I found the part with the least amount of speaking points. And I was like, yep, I'm trying out for security guard number 2. Hey, get down from there. That was my line. I don't know what it was, actually, but it was something along. It was literally one of the last 2 lines in Shakespeare in the play. Let's see if we can find it. I remember trying out for it and being so pumped and being like, wow, dude, I'm going to fucking skate by in this. I found it. It was Romeo and Juliet, and I tried out for second watch. And his only line in this play is, "He is Romeo's man. We found him in the churchyard." I remember I walked up there like I was fucking trying out for SNL, and I was like, "Dominic Viola, I'm auditioning for the part of second watch." "He is Romeo. He's in the churchyard." Finn. And then I walked off. And then I remember, dude, the day that it came for them to fucking call parts, they were like, "All right, and Dominic, you're Benvolio." And I remember, for real, I think I started crying. I was such a pussy when I was younger. I, for real, think I started crying just because I was like, no, I have to speak more. And then I think I die. Benvolio dies or some shit. I, as if I fucking killed the part. You know what I mean? I, as if the part was written about me. What if I just took it way too seriously and started method acting? I started showing up to school in like fucking tights and shit. No, but I mean, like, I remember like the class next to us, like there's 2 6th grade classes. And one of them would, like, every other Friday or every Friday, I don't know how often it was, but I remember being Friday, they would have a fucking party. They would have like a little pizza party, and they'd fucking like dance and shit. The teacher would play music, and then you'd have like the fucking, everyone would dance. And I remember our class was doing the fucking Shakespeare shit. And our teacher was like twice the age of the other teacher. She looked like she got hit in the face with a fucking frying pan. She had so much work done to her face. And I remember just like all of us like hated that class. We were like, dude, you suck. This class blows. You're not a good teacher. Can't I just learn science, please? I'm way more interested in art, dude, than I am in doing Shakespeare. And it was just like such a drag. Anyways, I just remember that class so much. I was thinking about it today because I just started thinking about weird teachers I had, dude. Like one time I had this teacher who had a fucking pet parakeet who had cancer. I'm not exaggerating and I'm not bullshitting. I'm telling the truth when I say that. I had a teacher, a Spanish teacher, who had a pet parakeet who had cancer. And I remember one time she took PTO because the fucking bird had cancer and died. And she came back to class and all of us were like, "Miss Kip, so sorry to hear about your bird." But it was also like she brought it to class one time and all of us were like, "Wow, so cute." I mean, like, obviously she was, you know. I was such a fucking dickhead in high school, bro. Like, she came back and all of us were just like, "Wow, Miss Kip, like, shout out to his family." David Guetta. "Wow, Miss Kip, so sorry to hear about your bird, but shout out to his family." No, but like, dude, I didn't even know birds got cancer. And I remember like it got cancer and all of us were like, "Your bird has cancer?" "Right, lady." I mean, so fucking sad, dude. Imagine like being a teacher. You don't have any significant others. You teach like fucking freshman. You teach like Spanish 1, right? Your parakeet is like your life, dude. That's all you fucking think about. And then you bring it to class one day and everyone just fucking laughs at you. And then your bird gets cancer and dies, dude. Wow. I mean, for real, I would go jump off the fucking top story building at that high school with my bird. Both of us will fly now. At least one of us will fly. Oh, God. I feel bad because like the older I get, the more I'm like, that's such a like that person was just a regular adult that was just like needed, that just wanted a friend, that didn't have, that was like honestly probably pretty lonely. Like, fuck me. Like there was just like so many things I think about in high school that like we would fuck with the teacher. And then like you look back and you're like, God, what a dickhead I was. Like one time we had this student teacher. We had this student teacher who we suspected was wearing the same pair of pants every day of school. Now, obviously that's like paying way too close of attention to like what's going on. And we suspected that she was wearing the same pair of pants. She's a fucking teacher's assistant, right? So she's like probably still in college. She's teaching college prep history. And this poor woman probably like didn't even have enough money to get a new pair of pants. That's why she's wearing the same ones, right? So she like wears them over and over. Dude, one day, one of the kids fucking took the like jar of white out, bent down, and just put a little brush on her ankle. Which honestly, kind of smart as like a high schooler to be like, all right, we're going to test this out. We're going to mark her pants, see if she comes back. Dude, next day she showed up. Clearly she had tried to wipe it off. They were the same pants. She wore the same pants to school. And all of us giggled so hard. Looking back, so dick. She probably got home from a long-ass day of work, of teaching, and all of us were like, just such pieces of shit. And this woman was just like, fuck, I have white out on my pants. Damn it. And she just ate like a sad chicken for dinner. You know what I mean? She had the other lady's cancer parakeet. Oh, God. I don't know why I thought of like teachers today. I just was like thinking of like old teachers I had and how some of them fucking sucked. That'll like make or break your experience when you're in school, is having like a bad teacher. Because if they're bad, it doesn't make you want to try at all, and it makes you want to be a fucking piece of shit in their classroom. You're like, I mean, I'm not going to try. You also have zero respect for you. I was never the kid, though, that was always like, why do we need to learn this? And I feel like a bunch of my friends were, but I was always like, this is going to come in I'm going to need to know derivatives so much one day. Calculus, yes, I need to know this. No, have not once used the derivative of something. Sometimes I'll do it for fun. I'll be like, what's the derivative of 2x? Is it 2? I fucking forget. I also don't know what the point of derivatives are. So why did I need to know that? Was my education pointless? I don't know. You tell me. You tell me, employer, if you're watching this. Speaking of employer, my dad gave me some tips this weekend. He goes, hey, podcast tip, which love when he gives me a podcast tip, dude. 73-year-old man. Dude, has been on the podcast twice, and then is just like, I'm an expert in this field, so listen to the entirety of this Talkin' Sopranos or whatever. The podcast where every episode they talk about an episode of The Sopranos. And now he's just an expert. He's like, hey, from one podcast expert to another, honestly, you're not even an expert, so from one podcast expert to a fucking rookie, here's a tip. Get a new job. He did say that to someone this weekend. To me, he said, you should have said this to the guy. Dude, because he gave me, my dad, not to keep talking about my dad, but this weekend he gave me $20 because 15 was for parking. Now, foolishly, he thought that I was going to give him the $5 back. I assumed when he gave me the $20 that, all right, I get $5. Hell yeah. I make $5 as a profit, right? So that night I went out and I was at a bar and there was a bathroom attendant and I was like, washing my hands and stuff. And then like he like gave me some soap and I was like, you know what? I never tipped the bathroom attendant. And so I gave him the $5. The next day I told my dad and he's like, all right, I mean, I thought I was going to get that money back, but all right, I mean, I thought I was going to get the $5 back, but sure, now some bathroom attendant has it. You should have given him another tip. Get a new job. That's what he told me. All right, awesome. Glad you think of service people in that industry. Thought he was going to get his money back. My bad, dude. Gave it to a minority. Hey, it is MLK weekend, so maybe it was a good thing. I don't know. Happy MLK Day. Also, forgot to say that. Shout out to his family. We're going to end it there. I think that's enough time. Hopefully it is. If not, hey, we'll see you again next week. Am I right, ladies? All right. Love you guys. Talk to you potentially never. Goodbye.